Welcome back. Again, we are working with Unit 2, which is triangles, specifically the lesson trigonometry. Remember, in trigonometry, we have to use right triangles, but now instead of Pythagoras, we're using hypotenuse and legs. Instead of the legs, they have names now. One of them is called the opposite side, and the other leg is called the adjacent side. Now, the adjacent and the opposite side are going to differ depending on the angle. So this is sheet 32. Let's read the question. Please read the question before you answer. Find x in the following, like exercise A, B, and C, in these right triangles. Correct to one decimal place. When I tell you to one decimal place, so if I have 2.53 something, this is the one decimal place. Therefore, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. Let's look at part A. Here, look at x. It's a side or an angle? It's a side. So I'm going to find a missing side here. How do you find a missing side? Let's see. I'm going to use trigonometry, since it's the relationship between sides and angles in a right triangle. This is my angle, which is 25 degrees. And you have also the right angle, which is 90. Now, always, the side facing the 90 degree is, we call it the hypotenuse. Therefore, 30 meters is my hypotenuse. What about x? So what is the nature of x? Is it the opposite side or the adjacent? It is not opposite to the 25, it's not facing it, and it's touching it. So therefore, x is the adjacent side. So let us organize our given, and what do they need? What do we need to find? So the adjacent side is x. It's what I want to find. They gave me the angle, which is 25 degrees. The angle theta, for instance, is 25 degrees. And they gave me the hypotenuse, which is 30 meters. Now, so therefore, I'm working with two sides here, which are adjacent and hypotenuse. I want to find the adjacent, I have the hypotenuse. So which helping word, acronym, has A and H in it? Which one has A and H? It's ka. Therefore, I'm going to use the cosine. So therefore, the cosine of the angle 25 degrees is equal to, remember, it's in order. Ka, C is for cosine, A is for adjacent, and H is for hypotenuse. So it's the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now I'm going to substitute the values in the ratio. The adjacent is x. I need to find it. You can keep it A if you want. And the hypotenuse is 30 meters. Now I will change the cosine 25 into a fraction. How? There's an invisible one. Why? Any whole number, to change it to a fraction, the only way to change its shape, but you don't change the value, is to write it over 1. Because when you divide any number by 1, it gives you the number itself. Anyways, then we're going to do the butterfly method or cross multiplication method. You're going to multiply this by this. 1 times x. So what's 1 times x? It's x. Therefore, x is equal to, and then we will multiply, please, cosine of 25, not 25, cosine of 25 by 30 meters. So therefore, x is cosine of 25 degrees times 30 meters. On the calculator, you make sure you're on the degree mode. Okay, not radian degree mode. And then you put just cosine of 25. You get it from the calculator. And then your answer, you multiply it by 30. I noticed some of you are putting cosine of 25 times 30, and then they're getting the answer. You will get it wrong, miss, because it's as if you did 25 times 30 is 750. So it's as if you got the cosine of 750 degrees, which is wrong. Here, I want to find the cosine of 25, so you get it separately. And then this answer, you multiply it by 30. You will get 27.189. Etc. Round to the nearest tenth. 8 is a strong number, therefore x is 27.2. We add 1 to the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Don't forget the unit. Therefore, this is my adjacent side. Therefore, the adjacent side is 27.2 meters. Moving on to part B. Now let us look at part B. In part B, x is a side or an angle? X is an angle. So here we need to find the missing angle. How do I find the missing angle? Let us see what we have. They gave us 5 meters. What is this? This is the opposite side. And they gave us 8. What is 8? 8 is opposite to the 90 degree, therefore it's the hypotenuse. So therefore I have the opposite side, which is 5 meters, and I have the hypotenuse, which is 8 meters. And I need to find the angle now. We need to find the angle. Remember, just when you want to find the angle, you're going to use on the calculator the shift, okay? Okay, I have opposite and I have hypotenuse. So what do you think? In SOHCAHTOA, which one will you use? SOHCAHTOA. O and H. Which one has O and H? So, therefore, I'm going to use the sign. So, sine of the angle x is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse, which is equal to, now I'm going to substitute the values in the ratio. The opposite is 5, the hypotenuse is 8. You see them? The opposite is 5, the hypotenuse is 8. Or from the figure. Now, how do we get x? It's an angle, remember? You get rid of this one. How? By using shift sign. Therefore, the x will be shift sign 5 over 8. Now, let us do it on the calculator. You make sure you're on the degree mode. Inverse sign or shift sign 5 divided by 8. You will get 38.682. For the angle is. Let us round now to the nearest tenth. So x is 38.7 degree. Don't forget this is an angle, not a side. Part A was a side, now B is an angle. So therefore, the missing angle is 38.7 degrees. Finally, part C. Again, I need to find x. What is x here? It's a side. So here I need to find a missing side, not an angle. So part C. Let us see what do I have. They gave me the angle here is 70 degrees. What is the side facing the 70 degree? 10 kilometer. What is this? So this is the opposite side. And x is it the hypotenuse? No, the hypotenuse is, we don't want to find it and they didn't give it to us and we will not need it. X is what? X is the adjacent side here. It's the adjacent side. Why? Do you see it's touching the angle 70 here? But it's not the hypotenuse. And by the way, the adjacent, the adjacent and the opposite, they will always form an L shape because they are the legs, remember? And they will form a 90 degrees. So always the adjacent and the opposite side. How do you make sure your answer is correct? They will form the 90 degree together. So therefore, I have the opposite, organize your given. The opposite is 10 kilometers. The adjacent is x, so we need to find the adjacent side. And I have the given angle is 70 degrees. So how do we find the adjacent? Let's see. I have O and A. Which of the ratios in SOHCAHTOA has O and A? Of course, you don't have to do like me. You can skip. I mean, some of you will directly use their mental math skills and skip this. O and A is TOA. Therefore, I'm going to use TOA, which is the tangent. Tangent of angle 70 is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent. So tangent of angle 70 degrees is equal to the opposite side here is 10 and the adjacent is x. I will change this to a fraction over 1. Then I'm going to do the butterfly method. So you will get here now, you will multiply 1 by 10. You will get what? 10. You can put it here or there, it doesn't matter. I'm going to write it here. And on the other side, you're going to multiply tangent of 70 degree by what? By x. Therefore, I'm going to get on the other side tangent of 70 degrees times x. So how do we get rid of our sticky neighbor? Remember, the x is selfish. We need to isolate it. We need to make it alone. It likes to get rid of the neighbor. What's the opposite of multiplication here? When you have something like 2x, for example, if 2x is equal to 3, what does it mean? It means multiplication, so you divide both sides by 2, remember? 2 divided by 2 is 1, therefore x is 3 over 2. Same thing here, but now instead of having a number, you have a scary number, which is tangent of 70, but you're gonna do the same thing actually. What's the opposite of multiplication? Remember, it's division. So I'm gonna divide both sides by what? By tangent of 70, which is actually a value. Now we'll do it on the calculator. So I'm gonna divide by tangent of 70 degrees on both sides. Remember, they're jealous. So now when you divide these two together, just let me erase this, I'm sorry. Any number divided by itself gives me 1. Like 2 divided by 2 is 1. So tangent of 70 divided by tangent of 70 is 1. What's 1 times x? X. So x is equal to 10 divided by tangent of 70 degrees. So now on the calculator, you're going to do the following. You make sure you're on the degree mode. And you're going to do 10 divided by tan tangent of 70 degree. You will get something. And look, if you noticed, you see the calculator, it took 70 degree. Did you see? So 10 divided by tangent of 70, you will get 3.639. So therefore x is 3.639. Now I'm going to round my answer to the nearest tenth. This is the 10th place. The 3, the neighbor is a weak number, so you will not add 1. Therefore, x is 3.6 kilometer, and this is what was it? It was the adjacent side. Yeah. Therefore, this is in part C. The adjacent side is 3.6 kilometers. This was part C. Thank you.